Mama, I am sorry. I denied you in front of my friends. Please forgive me.
Mama, you're no more. Who will lift this curse off my head? Please forgive me.
In the quiet outskirts of a small village in southeastern Nigeria, where the morning mist clung to the earth like a secret unwilling to be told, lived a woman named Nkem. No one remembered when she stopped being beautiful, but everyone remembered why. Her face, half of it, was a map of pain. Burnt skin stretched tightly across her cheek, her lips slightly twisted. Her eyes on that side was forever narrowed. Children stayed longer than they should. Some ran away, screaming. Others whispered and pointed when she passed. But Nkem never flinched because every scar had a name, and the deepest one was called love. Even when people mocked her behind her back, she only lowered her head and continued walking. She had learned something long ago. Pain becomes lighter when you carry it for someone you love. Years ago, before the fire, before the whispers, before the silence that followed her, Nkem had been a radiant young woman, known in her village for her gentle smile, her bright eyes, and her hard-working spirit. She was married to a kind fisherman, a man who had little in wealth, but was rich in love. Their home was small, but full of laughter. In the evenings, they would sit outside under the moonlight, talking about their future. Then life changed. Her husband died suddenly in fishing accident, leaving her alone with their newborn daughter, Adaeze. From that day, Nkem became everything: a mother, father, protector, and a provider. There were nights she cried silently, holding her baby close. "I will not fail you," she would whisper to Adaeze while she slept. "Even if the world turns its back on us, I will not fail you." She sold fish in the local market every day. Before the sunrise, she would leave home with a small basket, walking long distance to the river to buy fresh fish.
Fresh fish.
Then
Come get your
she would
fresh
sit
fish.
under the
Very
sun
fresh, caught
at the
today.
market,
Fresh fish
calling
for
out
sale. Customer
softly,
patronize me. Yes,
"Fresh
I want to buy
fish,
some fish. Good
fresh
choice.
fish
Fresh
for
today. I
sale."
take this.
Sometimes business was good, many times it was not. Some days she returned home with almost nothing, but she never stopped because Adaeze had to eat, Adaeze had to grow, Adaeze had to become something greater than the life handed to them. And so Nkem endured hunger, humiliation, and exhaustion without complaint. Even when traders mocked her, "Look at that woman with no husband. Life has finished her." She would hear everything and said nothing because her daughter's future was louder than their insults. The fire came on a quiet morning. The air was calm. Birds were singing. Nothing seemed unusual. Adaeze was only 2 years old. That morning, Nkem had stepped out briefly to fetch water from a nearby stream. Just a few minutes, just enough time for fate to strike. No one knew how it started. Some said it was a cooking accident. Others said it was a falling lamp. No one was sure. But by the time smoke rose from the house, it was already too late.
Your house
A
is on
neighbor ran
fire.
screaming
My
through the
baby.
village. Nkem, Nkem, your house is on fire. The bucket she
Your
was
house is on
carrying
fire.
fell
My
instantly
baby.
from her hands. Her heart froze. My baby, she whispered, barely breathing. Then she ran. She ran like a woman who is possessed. When she reached her compound, the house was already engulfed in flames. The fire roared violently, eating wood, clothes. Thick black smoke filled the sky. Villagers had gathered, shouting, pouring sand and water, trying everything they could, but the fire was too strong. My child is inside. Nkem screamed,
Too dangerous. I don't
trying
care.
to force her way through.
Stop, you'll die.
Two men grabbed her. You cannot go in there.
I have
You
to
will
save
die.
her. No, it's too dangerous.
I don't care,
Let me
she
go.
shouted,
Stop, you'll die.
struggling fiercely. That is my child. A woman cried beside her. Nkem, the fire is too much. But Nkem's eyes were already fixed on the burning house. Something inside her broke. I will go, she said quietly.
My baby is in there. I
And
have
before
to save
anyone
her.
could stop her,
My
she
baby
ran
is in there.
inside.
I have to save her.
The heat was unbearable. It was like stepping into hell itself. Flames licked the walls. Smoke burned her throat. Her eyes watered uncontrollably. She called out desperately, Adeze, Adeze. A faint cry answered her. That was all she needed. She pushed forward. Inside the small room, she found her daughter crying on the floor, trapped and frightened. Oh, my baby, Nkem sobbed. Lifting her immediately into her arms, she held her tightly, feeling her small body trembling. I am here, I am here, she whispered. From outside, the villagers screamed in panic. Nkem, come out! Then suddenly, a man rushed towards the side of the house, pushing through the smoke until he reached a small window where Nkem could be seen inside, holding Adeze tightly. Take this, he shouted desperately. He dipped two wrappers in water and threw them through the window towards her. Cover yourselves quickly. For a brief second, Nkem caught them, her hands trembling as the fire rolled around her. Then she looked down at her daughter and made a choice. Two wet wrappers were handed to her. Use one for yourself and one for the baby. For a second, Nkem hesitated, but only for a second. Then she looked at her daughter and made a decision only a mother could understand. She wrapped both wet clothes around Adeze, not herself. She stepped out, but the fire was stronger now. A beam fell. Flames rushed towards her face. She screamed, but did not stop. She covered Adeze completely with her body. When she finally stumbled out of the burning house, villagers pulled them both to safety. Adeze was alive, but Nkem collapsed. Half of her face had been burned beyond recognition. Her screams that day were not just of pain, but of survival. From that day, everything changed. Her beauty was gone. Her laughter disappeared. Even her reflection became something she avoided. But her love, it only grew stronger. Every time she looked at Adeze, she saw the reason she was still alive. Years passed. Adeze grew into a bright, intelligent young girl, beautiful, ambitious, full of dreams.
Fish.
Nkem worked
Come get your
harder
fresh
than
fish.
ever.
Very
Her
fresh just
hands
today.
became rough. Her
Fresh fish for
body
sale.
was
Customer
weak,
patronize me.
but
Yes,
she
I want to
never
buy some
stopped.
fish. Good
She
choice. Fresh
sold
today.
fish every day, saving every coin. Sometimes she skipped meals so Adeze could eat better food. Sometimes she walked barefoot so her daughter could wear shoes. People still mocked her, but she ignored them because her daughter was going to school. But education was their only escape. Eventually, Adeze gained admission into university. It was the happiest day of Nkem's life. She cried that night, holding her daughter's school admission letter close to her chest. "My daughter, a university student," she whispered repeatedly. She prayed for hours that night. "God, thank you. Don't let me fail her now."
Don't
Hi
forget to
besties,
subscribe to
do
my
well to
channel
subscribe
for
to my
more
channel
amazing
for more
stories.
amazing
Thank
stories.
you.
Thank you. Let's continue. When Adeze arrived at the university, she was overwhelmed by a new world, one full of privilege and wealth. She met a group of students from rich families living in the hostel, wearing designer clothes, driving fancy cars. For the first time, she felt like she did not belong to her old life. She started drifting away, trying to fit in, moving with them to upscale hangouts, forgetting the humble beginnings that shaped her. And slowly, her mother, with all her sacrifice, became something to be hidden, a scar she did not want to show in public. But it wasn't hate, just fear. Fear of not fitting in, fear of losing her place in the world she did not know how to navigate. But things began to change. Adeze grew distant. At first, it was small things. Hesitation when Nkem came close. Embarrassment when people stared. One evening, she finally said it. "Mama, Mama, I don't want you to come for my matriculation." Nkem paused. "Why?" Adeze avoided her eyes. "It is just, my friends will be there. I don't want them to see you like this." Silence, long, heavy, and painful. Nkem slowly nodded, but her heart shattered quietly. The next morning, she still cooked, still prepared, still smiled, because love does not stop because of rejection. At the university, the place was full of life. Students were celebrating, parents taking pictures. Nkem arrived quietly, carrying food she had cooked overnight. Her eyes searched until she saw her daughter. "Adeze," she called softly. Adeze turned. For a moment, there was recognition, then fear, then shame. "Excuse me, who are you?" she said loudly. Nkem froze. "It is me, your mother." Adeze stepped back. "I don't know this woman." The word stopped. Nkem's hands shook. "I burned for you," she whispered. "I gave everything for you." But Adeze turned away. "I said, I don't know you." Something inside Nkem broke completely. She dropped the food slowly. Her voice trembled. "If I am nothing to you," then she raised her eyes. "May life teach you what sacrifice means." And she walked away, alone. From that day, Adeze's life changed. Doors began to close. Opportunities slipped away. Peace disappeared. No matter how hard she tried, something always went wrong. Until one night, she broke down crying and remembered everything: the fire, the sacrifice, the woman she rejected.
You in front of my
She ran
friends
home,
after all the
but it
sacrifices
was
you
too
made for
late.
me.
Nkem was gone. She died months back. Adeze
I am
fell to her
sorry. I
knees.
denied you in front of my
Mama,
friends. Please forgive
I am
me.
sorry. But silence answered her, because some voices only matter when they are still alive. Life lesson: never be ashamed of the hands that raised you, especially when those hands carry scars from saving your life. Because behind every scar, there is a story of love. That woman you hide from the world may be the same person who once faced death to save you. Beauty fades, but sacrifice never does. One day, life will test your heart, and you will remember the love you ignored. But by then, it may be too late. So while you still can, love them, respect them, honor them, because a mother's love is a gift you can never replace. Love is not always beautiful to look at. Sometimes it is burnt, broken, and unrecognizable, but it is still love.
Mama,
And the
I am
greatest
sorry.
tragedy
I
in life
denied you in front of my friends.
is
Please forgive
realizing the
me.
value of that
Denied you in
love
front of my friends
when it
after
is
all the
already gone.
sacrifices you made for me.
If this
Please.
touched your heart, don't forget to like and follow for more. If you were Daisy, what would you have done differently? Tell me in the comment section.